Hey, what's up, everybody? We are back and we are live. And I'm loving this stuff. I promise you I am. I am Jay Hollingshed, your high performance mindset coach and public speaker. I am coaching athletes. I am coaching entrepreneurs to higher levels of productivity and profitability for them to have a better way of life. And if you fit in that category, you need to hit me up. I'll give you my information at the end of this video. But right now, we're going to talk about what we're going to hit today. Today is Monday, day 2 of the week, in which we discuss pillar number 2 of 7 of my 7 pillars of mental performance. Being that I just mentioned that, this is episode 114 of 365, and this is my 7 pillars of mental performance series. Now, as I just mentioned, today is day 2, Monday, in which we discuss pillar number 2 of 7. And pillar number 2 is confidence and motivation. Confidence and motivation. Now, before we do that, let's get our thank yous out the way. I see my brother's name popping up already. AJ, Arthur Hollingshed. I appreciate you, bro. I love you much, man. Also, if you're watching this on repeat, thank you so much for tuning in. I truly appreciate you. And for those that are watching this, if you want to see this in its entirety, go to my YouTube channel, Jay Hollingshed on YouTube. All of my 100 plus episodes are already on there, and this episode will be on there within the next 24 hours. Also, feel free, and I am asking you to, if you would, like, share, tag, comment. Let me hear from you. Let me get some feedback. Tell me what's going on. What's going on in your mind regarding my 7 pillars of mental performance and how they have affected you, or what you want to hear in particular about the 7 pillars of mental performance. So, with that being said, we're going to go right into our confidence and motivation. Now, today I did some more web research, and I was led to an article written by Evan Tarver. In fact, he has his own website, evantarver.com. And this article actually lists 11 types of motivation. Hey, Elizabeth Fletcher, I see you watching. I appreciate you for tuning in. God bless you, my sister. All right, so we're talking about 11 types of motivation, what they are, and how to use them. However, in the interest of time, we're not going to do 11. We're going to do 5. So, the first one of 5 types of motivation and how to use them is intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. I've talked about these a lot already in my past Monday talks. And what I basically hit was that intrinsic motivation is a motivating factor that you have within you. It's coming from within. You're driven from an emotional state to get something done, to reach a particular goal. You are motivated from within. It's an emotional type of motivation. Now, extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic could be a physical goal, like you're working hard to get to a car, you're working hard to purchase a home, things like that. So that's what I've talked about in the past. But let's see what the author Evan Tarver talks about. Broadly speaking, there are 2 types of motivation, general motivation, intrinsic and extrinsic. Intrinsic motivation states that people are motivated by internal rewards like fulfillment and commitment. Conversely, extrinsic motivation states that people are motivated by external rewards and bonuses such as a raise, or an extrinsic motivation could be in a negative format as to not get fired. You are working hard so you won't get fired. That is an extrinsic negative motivation. Okay. So, however, while they are opposites of each other, intrinsic and extrinsic motivation can be used together. For example, you might be motivated by a potential raise, but end up loving the more complex work of the job that you are now in. So that's number 1, intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Now, number 2 of 5. Number 2 of 5 is achievement motivation. Achievement motivation. Somebody just sent up a like or a heart. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. God bless you. So achievement motivation states that people are driven by the desire to pursue and achieve specific goals. People who are motivated by this type of motivation are motivated by the achievement of a task or a goal itself, and not necessarily because of the reward. This sounds like being motivated by the challenge of something. So something you don't really need to have, but the challenge of it, the drive that gets you going inside. For example, an entrepreneur might build a business for the joy of building a world-class organization and not necessarily because of a potential exit. So that's number two. Number two is achievement motivation. Now, number 3 of 5. Incentive motivation. Incentive motivation. Incentive motivation, unlike achievement motivation, says that people are motivated more by the reward than by the achievement of the goal itself. Instead of being process oriented and being motivated by movement towards a goal or task, those who are motivated by incentives commit to actions because of their expected reward. It's kind of like the old school cartoons you would see, or you may even hear somebody mention it, putting the carrot before the horse. Like if you, the old school horse and buggy, and you put the carrot, you dangle the carrot in front of the horse, and the horse just wants the carrot. He's going because he wants the carrot. He's going because he wants the carrot. You turn the carrot to the right, the horse goes to the right. Carrot to the left, horse goes to the left. So the horse is the actions of the horse are only because of the incentive that's right in front of it. So the example they give, for example, if you want a promotion because of a higher salary and not because you feel more fulfilled, you are motivated by incentives rather than achievement. So keep that in mind. That's number 3, incentive motivation. Number 4 of 5, haha, this one we all have. Fear motivation, F-E-A-R, fear motivation. Now, fear is a motivational type that uses consequences to drive people into action. Kind of like what I mentioned earlier in number 1 about you're motivated to work because you don't want to lose your job. So you have a fear of losing your job. Here it says fear motivation can be thought of as a negative motivator. Hey, I just hit that. And that you are motivated by a reward, but by the avoidance of pain. You're not motivated by a reward, but you are motivated by the avoidance of pain, or consequences. Yeah, getting tongue-tied. So if you are motivated to work because you are avoiding a pain or avoiding a consequence, something that's negative, then your motivation is out of fear, like getting fired or things of that nature. You getting fired because you're not delivering your deliverables on time if you are in a corporate structure. So the fear of getting fired, that's a fear motivation. That's number 4. Now, number 5 of the motivational types is power motivation. Power motivation. Power motivation is a motivational factor that says people are motivated by control over our own lives and or the lives of others. Everyone wants choices, and people are often motivated to increase their overall life's options. For this reason, power motivation manifests itself in the desire to affect the direction of our lives and sometimes the lives of those around us. These are people who are natural born leaders, people who want to lead out, people who want to take charge, people who want to accept the responsibility of leading people, or they want the authority, they want the power, they want the title. Somebody else tuned in. Laraz Wright, thank you. I appreciate you for tuning in. So number 5 is power motivation. Now let's do a quick recap of 1 through 5 real quick. All right. Number 1 was intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Number 2 was achievement motivation. Number 3, incentive motivation. Number 4, fear motivation. And number 5, power motivation. As I stated earlier, the article actually lists 11 types of motivation, but in the interest of time, we're only going to do 5 for today. And I will cover the next 6 on next Monday, on our next Confidence and Motivation Day. So thank you so much. I truly appreciate everybody for tuning in. And for those that want more information on motivation, feel free to hit me up. You can go to speaktojay.com, speaktojay.com, or inbox me right here with a particular question or comment. Inbox me on this platform or make a note in the comments. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, be well, stay blessed, and through love, be a blessing. God bless.